Ende dirisha.
Ndio ndio kwa ndio goshi. Nafikiri hii ndio masaidi hapo. Anataka sasa kukimbia.
Zebra.
Security. Usiku, jioni utawakuta karibu na maboma. Karibu kabisa. Wale ndio wako na shida kidogo, hawataki kukaribiwa sana. Wild beast. Songe ndio uchukue pia hiyo wild beast. Matesa. Huyu mwingine hata upande. Yakale kana.
Sawa.
Ya swala pia. Ile dawa.
Kijenge karara na gwa biting na karara. Nikiwa.
Sunguka bande.
Sawa. Sini boma?
Unamjua?
Yes, si madre. Kinyo. Sana kumbe hivi.
Unamjua?
Yes, si madre.
Possible corridors to be developed. We know for us to be able to have practical, realistic corridor between Masai Mara and Amboseli, it means a number of fences will have to be pulled down. But for today, we have not been able to discuss anything on Kajiado West. Today, we zeroed in on Kajiado South, and top on the agenda was Selengei. Yeah, there are people who are coming up to do irrigation, which is not a bad thing, but these are semi-arid areas, and the so-called farmers are relying more on the drilling of boreholes. This is something that is not going to be sustainable, And it is good that people get to realize this early enough instead of sinking in millions of money on an area that is entirely meant for other uses. We are concerned with the connectivity between the Nairobi National Park, Amboseli National Park, Sabo West National Park, and Masai Mara Game Reserve. We discussed broadly the areas that we think are going to form the corridors, the animal corridors, but we zeroed in today on the Amboseli National Park. The others we can be able to address in our subsequent meetings. The presidential directive was two-pronged. One was to stop any further subdivision, and secondly, to stop further development. And so today we looked at the Amboseli National Park and its environs, and good enough, we have plans on those group ranches, some of them that were approved by the county government. So that is an area that we think we can easily be able to achieve the objective of that directive. However, we noted in the meeting that there are some gaps within the connectivity between the group ranches, and therefore we have scheduled another meeting primarily to come and bring on board the officials of those group ranches and other key stakeholders because there are quite a number of partners within that Amboseli ecosystem. So we'll be following this meeting up with that meeting to address the same. On these other parks, especially Masai Mara and Nairobi National Park, we mandated two of our people in this meeting to bring forth all the necessary empirical data that we are going to base our decisions on. One key area of concern to us is SLNG, the former SLNG group ranch, because that is where we are seeing a lot of dynamic development, and there will be a report to be generated by the NEMA office, because I forgot to mention about NEMA. They have been to the ground, and we congratulate NEMA for taking a very bold move of going to the ground to find out what was happening. And shortly they will be coming up with a report that will be shared with the various offices. And after that, we will be able to come with a way forward on how we can be able to arrest the situation that is ongoing in that particular area bordering Amboseli National Park. So the primary the key reason why we said we should address the media is so that you can be able to share this information with the public, because we need to move with the public every stage of the way, so that they can also be notified of the developments or the steps that we are taking as a county government and also the national government. You can see the composition of this team, that it is holistic, because we want to give it a holistic approach when it comes to addressing the key concerns that needs to be addressed, so that the objective of the presidential directive could be achieved. And we thank His Excellency the Governor, because I think he's the first governor to take up on that directive and quickly get to be implemented. So we are here to draw a roadmap of implementation of that directive.
Organizing themselves in cooperatives. And what we want to tell our people is we shall ensure citizen participation and involvement of the communities in coming up with alternative ways in which they can benefit from the corridors, so that they can be part and parcel of the government in this initiative.
We are cognizant of the fact that the role of communities and their participation in decision making, even in government matters, and notwithstanding the fact that even this directive requires us to engage our communities, we need our communities to understand that the kind of development they so wish to have must be guided. And we realize that land use planning and zoning in Kajiado has been done. We have a special plan, and the major thing that is there now is for us to be able to apply accordingly how that land use plan is being practiced and exercised among the residents of Kajiado. There are quite a number of people that think that they can buy land and do whatever they want in Kajiado. It's important that they realize that now there is a document to comply with. Our fragile rangelands require that land use is restricted. Sinking boreholes and relying on underground water can give a very false image of what development potential there is. It's very important that expert advice is given so that such investments are not going to be in vain, and that we are not just looking at short-term gains in implementing that directive. We are looking at a sustainable environment that will enhance revenue through utilization of our natural resource base in a sustainable way, in a way that ensures protection of future generations. And that is what we brought up, and we hope that we can be able to insinuate into the whole thinking as we plan ahead and come with conclusions. Tigi esiai enkare weramatata ormanyara narikito orgavanai Ole Lenku kigira duo aimaki rua president nitoki orkitok lang orgavanai Ole Lenku aitau rubat naaje serikali tenebo kulie shirikani serikali onkulie neme serikali isiaitin eramatata ekeyieu niking'or oleng eramatata ormanyara amu ninye entoki edai nikianyit utarot enyanak na kisho yiok mataramat ng'uesi anoto enkoitoi naba nai enare kitikataka amu keishunye naa inaare atua enkop na kelotu naa metaa nai tenaa nemeuno irkeek tekulo kejek tenemelaleta loong'uesi ele Nairobi National Park welde Lembusel o Tsavo National Park tiabori lekwa doinyio le Chulu nitoki sii aaku enkop enkipai neeku naa kutoka lekwa doinyio matejo nai taata lekwa loldonyo Orok Shompole nelo orkiramatian ore eramatare oong'uesi